Hey guys, it's a little zoomed in here. It's right here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a video that has been long overdue. I really wanted to make this video because it's very important that I'm always open with you guys, honest with you guys. Now, as you guys know, I have been on YouTube now for 3 whole years, and in 3 years, you know, a lot can happen. For example, so maybe this video will save you a little bit of coin, maybe it'll give you more of an idea of my art process, things I do like, things I don't like. And yeah, you guys know I don't like short intros, so okay, hello, hi. Before we jump right into it, again, I think it's very important that I say that all of this is just like personal preferences. As you all know, there's not one single way to do art, which is something that I love about art. So, this first one, I think you guys are gonna be shooketh. I used to love this product, but now, I don't know, this art supply just kinda stopped doing it for me. And these are the Prismacolor very thin Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. And these technically aren't colored pencils. They are literally pencils that are colored, if that makes sense. And these pencils are very different than just like the very different than just like the regular Prismacolor Premier. And if you don't know, with these pencils, you can sharpen them to an absolute fine point. They're made for like really heavy detail. Now these have a very similar formula to like my loves. Faber-Castell, Polychromos. These are like the best of both worlds. It works just as good as a Prismacolor, but yet it has like that hard formula that you will find in these Premier colored pencils, you know? And these are about the same price, with both of them being about $18 a piece. But to me, the crowning difference that makes these well worth it is that the barrel is so much larger than just like the regular colored pencil. So therefore, that ain't gonna do anything to it. But if I do this, you know, I might have just broke, you know, everything that's in there. And by the way, I have never had a Polychromos lead break on me. And that's saying a lot, because I'm like really heavy-handed. So I don't know, these are just like magical worldly beings, and I just never ever reached for these. And in fact, I'm thinking about donating these because I don't use them hardly at all. So yeah, if you're looking for a really dry, non-waxy formula that's very pigmented, these babies all the way. All right, so the next thing that I just used to love, but now I'm just like, girl. And that's pretty much everything that you can get at Dollar Tree. When I was a struggling artist, you know, I used to go to Dollar Tree all the dang time for their stuff. Next, I got these mechanical pencils. I personally get all my mechanical pencils from Dollar Tree, so I know these will be good. But it's just so easy to break. It's just so unpigmented. It's not a good investment long term. Some of the stuff I never use, like for example, these miniature colored pastel pencils. Like, what would I ever use these pastel pencils for, you know? It's so much more worth it to just go to Walmart and buy some like $3 Crayolas than it is to buy all of this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong, I did a video on cheap art supplies of stuff that I strictly still love at Dollar Tree, which I will link down below and probably in the card up above. But just in general, most of their art products are a miss. And I just kind of gave up even trying anything from them nowadays, you know? Sorry, Dollar Tree, we had some good times, but you know, this ain't it, sis. Alright, so now for this next one, I think you guys are gonna be a little bit surprised, and this one is like hella preference. So one thing that doesn't really work out for me that much is canvas. Just like a normal stretched canvas that has like the thing on it. Once I started drawing on Masonite and painting on Masonite, it was just like a game changer, you know what I'm saying? Now with canvas, for me personally, I don't really like the bounce that you get. I don't like how it's so easily bendable. If you press too hard accidentally, you'll get that indentation in the back because you're pressing too hard. Once I switched over to Masonite, it was like a whole new ball game. And like, I've switched all my friends over to Masonite because it is just so, in my opinion, for what I do, it's just so much more superior. You can get it textured, you can get it smooth. It has like a much harder surface. It's much more sturdier for us heavy-handed people. And you guys saw the video when I made this piece. I put a butt ton of chemicals. I beat this sucker up and it's still like in perfect condition, you know? It's so much more versatile, you know? You can erase as hard as you want, as light as you want, and nothing really is gonna happen because it's literal board. Plus, you can get masonite at pretty much any hardware store that you want. A lot of the times at the craft store, it's already pre-primed, so you can just paint right on it. I highly, highly, highly recommend trying to paint on masonite. It's a total game changer for a lot of people, and you might like it yourself. So, 10 out of 10. Love it. Alright, so now we're gonna switch it up a little bit. We'll do like a little transition right here. The products that I'm about to mention, at one point I could not stand, but now we stand. Literally the worst joke ever. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now this next art supply, for a long time, I was not a fan of, but slowly but surely it won me over, and this is a water squeezable pen. And so the reason that I just was like not having it when I first got these is because the ones I had, they would just like drip all over the place and the water would go everywhere. But these ones are a little bit more high quality. You control when it drips. That's what she said. And you don't have to worry about constantly dipping it in, dipping it out, dipping it in. It's because it's right here. It's ready to go. When you need to clean it, you literally just and it's like clean. Boom. So yeah, I feel like most of you guys have used these before, and yeah, they're just like a really easy, clean way to do watercolor. So moving on to this next one, I'm just gonna say it right now. At this point, I have embarrassed myself in front of Draw with Waffles, Chloe Rose Art, pretty much literally millions of people, because just a few months ago, I was sure that I hated this product. But now I've given it a second chance, I've used it in various ways, and now my life has changed. I love kneaded erasers. Now for a while, I couldn't explain why somebody would like kneaded erasers. Like, I didn't understand what really was the point of these, you know? It doesn't erase as efficiently as like a regular pencil. You had to squish them down, and then as soon as you would apply pressure, it would squish right back down. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. Whenever you're doing an illustration, a painting, a drawing, anything that you don't want fully erased, like it casually picks up all the extra pigment that you don't want mixing with your paint. A regular eraser as so, it'll completely erase everything. But this, it has levels to how it erases. And afterwards, it leaves this beautiful guided line. And by the way, one thing that I just absolutely incredibly love about these is that you can get these for so cheap. Like for example, let me look on AliExpress right now. Oh heck yeah. Okay, so on AliExpress you can get them for literally $1, $1.07, $1.19. And you can do what I do where I mushed like all of mine together and I made like this really giant one. And that is something I think we all can appreciate. Plus they're like so fun. Look at this. And finally, this brings us to the very last art supply. And this one is one that I used to like, but now, I'm just not very fond of it anymore. In fact, I made a whole video on this and I really did like it at the time. And I still do like it, it's just not for me. And that product is the Chameleon Marker Color Tones. Now, if you don't know what these markers are, they're basically like a really cool niche product. Like you mix the inks together, you get this like really awesome gradient. It's a really cool concept. But I guess the problems just kind of came through more and more as I started using these more and more. These markers, first of all, you know, they're just so big. So it's kind of impractical for like storage. So yeah, here's the difference between like a regular Ohuhu marker and the size of these. Whoops. And another issue that I ran into was the markers just having so many pieces. So this marker alone, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4 different pieces in this marker alone. And if you multiply that 4 times the 20 colors that are in here, that's a lot of pieces to keep track of. And as of recently, there has been a new competitor that's out on the market that is much cheaper than these markers. And I feel like these are a really cool novelty, but as far as like an investment goes, for $50, unless you really, really know what you want, I just can't see these being a long-term kind of thing. Anyway guys, thank you so much again for watching. Of course, I have my art Instagram, which I have been working hard at. And yeah, with that being said guys, thank you so much again for watching. If there's an art supply that you used to love and now you hate, or you used to hate and now you love, let me know. And with that being said guys, thank you so much again for watching. I will see you next video. Bye.